Shoo-wee! Look at all that. Freshly painted dash pieces. Came out really nice. Everything did. Came out nice and slick. No texture to them. Came out real nice. Now, I do have to admit, when I got home, I was in a bit of a hurry and I didn't have anywhere really safe to put the dash. So, and see, there's parts from cleaning all the little stuff that reattaches it all. Everything that goes to all these little pieces right here. Anyhow, as I was saying, we walked in. I didn't have anywhere safe to put the dash. So we went ahead and we stuck it in the cab and I put the bolts in it. So let me take and show you that. There you have it. So we went ahead and just stuck it in because I didn't want it laying around the shop because I knew it would get scratched up. So obviously it's just sitting in there right now. I've got all the bolts in it. It is bolted in nice and tight. Well, I guess it's really not just sitting in there, but you see it's nice and slick all the way across. Fits in there good. Both doors shut. No problems. Went in there great. Bolts lined right up. I was really happy with how it all went. Was able to get the front windshield tinted. Check this out. So not tinted super dark, but it is tinted. And before all you people try to say that, oh, that's illegal, you can't do that. I do have a letter from an optometrist because all the years of welding has made my eyes very sensitive to headlights at night. So I tint all the windshields on all of my cars so I can see to drive, essentially. So there's that. Dash is in. Still got a lot of assembly to go to get all the wiring and everything done on it and get all the pieces put together. I couldn't really film us putting the dash in because there's nowhere to put the stupid camera while we're doing it. But there you have it. Nonetheless, she's in there. Now, I will get videos of me building it and putting it all together, though. Like I said, it's just bolted in right now, though. Still got a lot to do. So hang in there. We'll be back. Okay, well, the dash is in, but it's just that. It's just in. It's literally, it's just got a couple bolts in each side holding it in, and you got one bolt in the center right here. Bolts across the front. Everything, it's in, it's bolted in nice and tight. It's mounted, I guess I should say. Now comes the fun part. I got to plug in all the plugs and wires and find everything and figure out where it goes because I don't remember where most of it goes. I've got a fuel shutoff switch I've got to mount on the inside of the A-pillar on the passenger side over here. I got a couple grounds I got to hook up there. I've got to pull this old radio antenna out because I've got our new one right here. Hopefully that will plug into our radio. I'm not going to put the factory radio back in it because I've got an aftermarket radio to go in it because, well, I like Bluetooth. And because I like Bluetooth, that's why. Still got to put our steering column in. But first things first, we got to get to fishing through these wires. So here we go. All right, so first things first, when I was getting this thing all prepped and building the ends of the dash and everything, I kind of stuffed and crammed all the wires that were, mounted to the main chassis of the dash there. I kind of stuffed and crammed everything back out of the way so hopefully it wouldn't get glue and everything else all over it. So got to rerun all that crap. Had to fish the radio antenna wire back up toward the radio up through there, and the new wire, the extension that I had to put on there. You see me digging around here trying to kind of at least get the wire somewhat where they're supposed to go. Next up, got my gauge cluster here. Now, before I got this truck, it was just an old work truck, so everything that I took off of it is just dreadfully dirty. You see me just having to scrub and clean on everything throughout this whole episode to get it where it's clean enough to reinstall. Yes, that is one large sonic cup with all the bolts for the entire dash and most of the rest of the interior in it. This is just how we do it as body, man. We throw all the bolts in one cup. We've done so much of it for so many years, and you just by process of elimination figure out how to knock it out and figure out where they all go. And I think body men probably have the best recall of any people in human history. So a couple things going on right here.
I've got a junction box that goes right there, and I've also got an OBD2 port that goes right there, and I've also got the parking brake release handle that goes right there. And I'm trying to get all that stuff kind of mounted and put in place right there and get it to all kind of weave and live happily together again like it once did.
All right, well, I've got to the point where pretty much everything that's back in there that I can find that needs to be plugged in is all plugged in. Now I got to start narrowing down what goes to what as far as like random accessories and light switches and things like that. So in order to do that, I got to start putting together all of these other parts. Obviously still haven't installed the power window kits yet. That's what that is, put that aside. But we got all of our air conditioning components and things like that. So as I get that stuff put together so I can install it, by process of elimination, I can figure out where plugs go, what goes to what. That way I'm not just sitting there guessing at it. So I'm gonna get to putting all this crap together now.
All right, so like I said before, man, when I first got this truck, it was like an old power company bucket truck or something like that. And this thing, I don't know if they just left the doors open on a dirt road or dusty road or something somewhere, but all of this stuff was so covered in dirt and dust. You see right there, that's the cup holder. I think they just poured cups of coffee in it and let it sit up, and every bit of this stuff was just completely just caked up with everything. And I didn't spend all this time sanding and painting and making it all look pretty. That way it could just go in the truck and look all lousy and nothing slide the way it's supposed to and be all gummed up and nasty. So, I had to spend a fair bit of time just scrubbing and cleaning. I mean, this squirt bottle, that's just like some Dawn with, water, nothing super special, but it did the trick. It got it all cleaned up nice. And much to my surprise, all this stuff actually came apart real easy. Nothing broke, no plugs were broke or anything. That's kind of rare. So putting it back together, I was expecting, all hell to break loose because nothing can go right all the time, right? But much to my surprise, it all, even all the little latches and springs and everything I had to mess with, everything set back together right, and the screws started like they were supposed to, and everything went together real good. Now, you'll see me go to a Phillips head screwdriver for putting these vents in right here. Now, this plastic on this particular piece right here was just really brittle. And I didn't really want to take any chances on over tightening it and pulling the threads out of this stuff, because once you pull them out, they are pretty much done for. And it was a little easier to get down in there to get to some of them with the Phillips head as well. But more than anything, it was just to keep from ripping the threads out. to slap this steering column in. Now, you slide it up in there in place, and it's got 4 studs that hang down from the main frame of the dash in there. Kind of stick it up in there and get them all started, and make sure everything's good and clear. You don't have any wires pinched or anything like that. I had one that was a real pain in the butt, did not want to get started, but you just stay after it and then run them up right quick, and then make sure you don't have any wires pinched or anything, any plugs that you're going to be searching for later that you end up smashing between the frame and the column itself. Now for the real fun part, trying to figure out where all this crap goes again that I took apart over a year ago. Surprisingly enough, as body man, we just take all this stuff apart. You kind of take a few mental notes, and most vehicles are kind of put together similarly, but more often than not, we just straighten the wires back up, and the wires kind of have a shape that they, from where they've been sitting in one place for so long, so they'll only stretch out and kind of go to one particular area. So they kind of will show you where they want to go. You see me having to, pull that gauge cluster apart right there. That way I can put the gear shift, the park, reverse, neutral, drive, low thing. It kind of sits right there under it. And obviously I forgot about that before I put the gauge cluster in. But as I was saying, most of the time with those wires, they'll kind of show you where they're supposed to go, and you'll find holes and bolts and things that hold them in place, So, you just kind of have to lay it out and then see where it wants to be. See me cleaning more crud off the gear shift lever and the little boot. The funny thing is, while there's not that many wires and things that go in there and around that steering column, it's easy to put them in the wrong way a couple times first. You see right here, I'm taking it loose because obviously I needed to route something, over or under something that I didn't realize the first time around. So, like I said, they'll kind of lay out, but generally you'll put it in wrong 2 or 3 times before you actually get it right, and have to come back and move something, or it's got like a little push-in clip that holds it in place or something that you didn't realize went somewhere. And you just kind of have to stay persistent, and then it'll all come together.
As you saw, got the steering column installed and everything all plugged in. Now, I don't know why it never occurred to me to check this, but I just thought this thing had a tilt column, and I just never really thought to look into it at all. I think it should be fine. I test fitted the dash with the seat in here, before I finished out the whole floor and everything to make it work right. I think the steering wheel should be fine, but before I go to the trouble of putting everything together all around it, all these painted pieces and everything, I am going to go ahead and stick the seat up in here and see that it fits, and the driving position's good, and I won't need to adjust it and all that. If it's not good, if my legs are hitting it or it's just not comfortable some type of way, I can get a tilt column out of any F250, 350, 450 that's from I think 99 to 04, and it will work in here. Hopefully this one will work. That way I don't have to go try to, get any more parts anywhere, and I can just keep on trucking with it. Also, you'll notice the steering wheel has no airbag in it, and it looks kind of crappy. My original plan was I was going to put some kind of cool looking aftermarket steering wheel in here, but when I was looking at it, I forgot, I didn't realize this has cruise control. Well, there's no reason that the cruise control should not work on this truck. So if this cruise control will work, oh buddy, I am all in on some cruise control. I will buy an airbag and put in here and use this steering wheel, because man, I use cruise control driving across town. So in this, it would certainly be nice. If it don't work, I'm gonna take the steering wheel off, I'm gonna throw it in the garbage, and I'm gonna get some kind of cool looking steering wheel and put on it. But for now, I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna wipe this seat off, and then we'll show you what the seat looks like after I got it all covered. Yes, sir. Check that out right there. That raggedy old seat turned out looking nice, huh? So you see I had the diamonds rolled all the way under instead of stopping and having the bolster on the front. Let's see if you can see that. I had all the stitching done in light blue, kind of like the truck. And I've got some powder blue seat belts coming too, so it looked pretty awesome. I went ahead, I cleaned up the bottom side of it and got the dust wiped off. Well, most of the dust wiped off of it. Next up, I gotta go grab my son and see if we can put this thing in. So let me go get him, and then we'll throw this dude in and see how it looks. All right, now. That way he can maybe lead in. Be careful. There we go. Just in there. All right, just hold right there for a second. Just watch the door. Should be getting pretty close. Can't see. I cannot see anything. Alright, hang on. Got my light right here. Oh.
Well, mine's not going down.
Okay. Well. Thank you. All right, here's from there. Yay, seats in.
This part was super exciting to me because I've been staring at this seat completely reupholstered, stuffed in a corner of my shop for at least a year now. So, and it was just super exciting for me to finally get to see it in the truck, and it just feels that much more completed.
Definitely sit high. I mean, it's not bad. A tilt wheel would be nice, I ain't gonna lie. Huh. Would like to sit a little lower though. I wonder if I could get it any lower. I'll have to look at the underside of it. See if maybe I took it's got these seat brackets that are about this tall that are on the bottom of it. I don't know, I might could remake those, but I'll just have to look to see where, because if you remember, the floor is flat and it's got that hump that comes up and that second ridge back there. And the seat is right against this. So I need to look at the track, see if it's hitting right on the bottom. I'll look at that. I think it was actually hitting kind of on this ridge. And if it is, I can't come down any. If it's not, maybe I could remake this bracket, shorten it a couple inches. I don't know if it would be enough, but I mean, really, it's not uncomfortable. I mean, I could ride like this. Let's see. Yeah, I could ride like this. It's not bad at all, really. No, ain't bad. No, it's not bad. Pretty comfy, really. Now, if I had a tilt wheel, it would come up here just a bit more. That might be okay. I got a buddy that owns a salvage yard. I might give him a call tomorrow and see if he's got a column there that I could grab. Maybe I could run down there this weekend or something, and because these columns don't take that long to swap out. Maybe I could throw him, a little extra change, trade him this column for one of his, and I don't know. Might do that. I'll give him a call tomorrow, and I'll just have to get back with you on that. But right now, though, I'm okay with it. You sit kind of high, but there's a lot of headroom in here. I've got 4 inches to the ceiling in here. Not too bad. I'm pretty excited. It's pretty cool. Every day, just a little bit closer.